Hello, everyone. Welcome to day two of the Artist Ally Masterclass. It's my pleasure to introduce Rumpa Banerjee, a media professional specializing in communications, brand management, and marketing. As head of corporate communications and marketing at IPRS, she drives member outreach and development, builds brand image, supports music creators, and enhances the IPRS visibility through strategic communication. Rumpa's extensive experience and insights make her a valuable expert in the music industry. Please join me in welcoming Rumpa Banerjee for today's masterclass on IPRS insights, decoding music rights and royalties. Welcome, Rumpa. Over to you. Think you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you, Rohin and Drishti, for organizing the session. And thank you for the introduction, sweet introduction. I don't know whether I'm an expert or not, but it's an effort or um, we want to reach out to as many creators possible in India because IPRS, um, if you are not aware, IPRS is the sole music copyright society in India representing author, composers, and publishers. So IPRS have been given this responsibility by the government of India. It's a government authorized copyright society to represent the creator community, manage your rights, and wherever your music is playing, and if it is popular and royalties are getting generated, like IPRS is the sole body which is collecting the royalties on your behalf and directly paying it to the author composer. So as we go through the presentation and today's session, I will explain that why I said that directly paying it to you, because it's a very robust and a foolproof mechanism and a system that has been laid by the government of India so that author composers in our country are not deprived of their rightful remuneration. So, but it's very important for all of us to understand how it works and how you can benefit from this. So before I proceed with the session, I would like to know from you how many over here are creators, either author, composer, songwriters, independent artists who are creating own music. How many of you are creating your own music? You can just raise your hands and that will give me a fair idea. How many of you here are creating your own music? All of you? Are all of you here who are into music creation? I'm not seeing too many hands. I've just seen two hands, like Parashar Joshi, Soumya Ghosh. Any one of you here who is a artist manager or a publisher or a label in any other role other than a creator? Anyone who is managing artists? Okay. Dinesh Kaira, you're managing artists also? Okay, so like some of you can unmute yourself. It will help me to emphasize on the topics. What is your expectation from today's session? What you expect to know from me or know from IPRS? So what is your expectation from today's session? And hence I will then emphasize on those aspects of copyright and licensing and royalties. So you can just unmute yourself. If that's possible, Rohit, they can unmute themselves.
Yes, that's totally possible. Or if you feel comfortable, you can drop it in the chat box as well. Both work.
Yeah.
Hi Rumpa, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Aviral.
Thank you for hosting the session. Yeah. So me and my friend, we have a duo, and we are singer songwriter duo, and we were like registering a few days back in on IPRS portal. So on that, it asks you to register as an individual first. So we were confused whether we should register as an entity or we should first register our name, like our band's name as a entity, and then register for IPRS, or we have to register separately for ourselves, and then uh, because the songs that we have released till now has our band name called Hersh Aviral. But but we were confused as we are publisher on that and on also the right owner on those songs as Harsh Aviral. But on the portal, it was asking for our, for a single person details.
Right, right.
Confused
That's a
about
very,
that.
it's a very valid question. So I will explain this in details in the slides.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. Thank you so much.
very valid question. Yeah. Okay. So if there are no other questions or
Hey, Rumpa, I have a question
yes.
with you. And so basically, I just wanted to know that is there any standard practice to divide the royalty between lyric composer and musician and a vocalist? It might sound very stupid, but like it's like starting journey of managing the artist. So I wanted to be very clear with all of that.
Yeah. So so your name is Major because it's coming as Major.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Nice name. Okay, so Major, see, there is no question which is stupid. I think stupidity is when you don't ask, like you're shy of asking, because see, you're asking a question means you're interested about the topic, you want to know more, you want to learn. So don't worry, anyone here can ask the silliest of questions. I'll be happy to take that. Yes, it's a very like very pertinent thing. Um, so yeah, so I will cover this also in my subsequent like slides, and I will explain it in details. This is a very important question because see, what is the role of IPRS and who manages what? So IPRS is, as I said, starting in my starting thing, that IPRS is a representative body of authors and composers. So when you are an author or composer, you are the original creator. So IPRS is representing original creators. There is a separate society for performers or singers, that is ISAMRA. So IPRS is not representing performers, singers. And for musicians, if you are not having a creative contribution, you're not like contributing creatively to the song, then you are not the original creator. You can be an instrumentalist, you can be a musician, you can be the producer, but you are not the original creator. Hence, you are not represented by author composers, like by IPRS, and you are not entitled to royalties. So I will also explain this because today a lot of people are collaborating. So where so like there's a very thin line between just being a kind of a producer and where you also become a like you're also creatively contributing to the song or the music piece of song. So I will explain that in details. So if there are no more questions, and then I will kind of proceed and start the session. I'll just share my PPT.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Hi, this is Soumya Ghosh, ma'am. I have a question regarding. I have recently registered as an author and composer
Yes.
at IPRS,
Yeah.
and also I also want to register myself as a publisher. So how I would have to do that? Because while I have distributed my music via the DSPs, I have mentioned my name as the publisher.
Right.
Soumya Ghosh as lyricist and composer, as well as Soumya Ghosh as the publisher. So while I would register for the publisher, the name should be Soumya Ghosh, or it should be Soumya Ghosh Music, Soumya Ghosh Originals, or something else. This is the question, ma'am.
Yeah, good question. I will cover this like when I go to the slide on how to enroll with IPRS. Like, thank you
Okay,
for
ma'am.
asking this question. Yeah.
Thank you
It's a
so
very-
much, ma'am.
yeah, yeah.
Can I ask a quick question, Rumpa?
Yes. Yes.
When as a new independent artist, who's releasing music for the first time, do they also have to register in the IPRS, or they can like how's it?
Kyra, I will explain this and you will see the answer will come from you only. After half an hour,
Okay.
I'll come back to you and ask you the same question. And then you will answer this and explain to everybody what you like what needs to be done. I didn't need to say this after the session. You will answer it. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I'm Dipanshu Bhati, ma'am. Glad to see you again. So I was there at 27 on Delhi. So
Okay.
my question is about that. I got a mail from IPS that to claim your royalty on a song, I have to see convert my songs to sound assets. There's something related to sound asset that कि आपको अपना गाना हमें रॉयल्टी क्लेम करने के लिए आपका गाना साउंड एसेट्स होना चाहिए, और वो भी जो जनरल है वेब एसेट्स में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है। तो मुझे उसके बारे में जनरल कोई भी आइडिया नहीं है, और मैंने ट्राई भी करा जानने की, तो मुझे प्रॉपर उसकी नॉलेज मिल नहीं पाई। इवन मैंने आईपीआरएस को मेल भी करा है, बट फॉर अ क्विक जनरली आप सामने हो तो बेटर लगा कि मैं आपसे सीधा ही पूछ लूँ, तो उसके बारे में मुझे बता देना।
Yes, sure. I'll talk about it. Yes.
Yeah.
So let me proceed to the presentation. Otherwise, we'll spend the entire evening. It's okay. Just a minute. Can you see my screen? Yeah. So like today we will be decoding rights and royalties. As a music creator, as independent artist today, it's very important for all of you to understand what is creator rights, what are creator rights, and what are royalties, and what are the different kinds of royalties that a creator is supposed to make from the music if the song or the piece of music is popular. Because if you are not aware of the different sources and the ways royalties are made, maybe you are collecting some of it or you are receiving some of it from your distributor or any other like other parties, but maybe you are missing out on something. So this session will give you an overview of how the entire music business or the song business, which I say, works, and how the song that you are making gets through different channels and from where all you are you can make monies. At the end of the day, you are creating music for the passion and the love for making music. But if monies don't come, then you cannot sustain. So it's very important to understand from where all you can get like remunerated for the song that you are making. So before we proceed with the session, it's very important to understand the word copyright, because this word copyright is the most powerful tool that has been given to any creator. Because copyright is there, hence you have so much of authority, so much of control, and you can command what you deserve from your music. Copyright is one of the most important tool and the most powerful tool that has been given legally to the original creator. Usually, the moment you are making an original creation, it can be music, it can be a piece of art, it can be any kind of like a literature, it can be anything, any original artistic work, any original piece of creation is copyrighted in your favor if you are the creator the moment it is created. But in today's world where so much of business around the creation is happening, it might not be enough just to be happy that okay, so like I have created this piece of content, hence it is already copyrighted in my name. You always will need... Yeah, kindly mute yourself, please. So it is always important to have sufficient proof of your authorship or your ownership. So when you're creating, like people say, suppose you have created a piece of work, you can mail it to yourself. Then it becomes a proof that it is your creation and this had been made and officially recorded on a particular day. Earlier, people used to say that create that piece of, like write it down and then like through registered post, mail it back to yourself and then don't open the envelope. So in that way also it happens. But in today's world, when everything is digital, there are different ways by which you can preserve or assure the copyright on your content. One is there is a government portal, copyright.gov.in. If you are working on a very important project and you believe that I am working with a lot of other people and there might be a chance that it might be infringed or people might take it away, I might not be able to claim my authorship later on, you can go and before release only, you can go and you can just register in the copyright portal, which is by the government of India. The other and easy way is, because suppose now today you have started your journey. Tomorrow you will have hundreds of songs. When you have thousands of songs, it's not possible to go and register each and every piece of song on the government portal. It becomes time consuming, it becomes expensive also. So the other easier way is to register your songs with the Copyright Society, because then your entire repertoire is preserved in a global database. So tomorrow, if there is any confusion with your credit or your authorship, you can quickly cull out the data, because the Copyright Society is one of the sources through which your song is making, like your royalties will be paid out. So it's very important that your credit is properly mentioned and your songs are registered. So registering your songs with the Copyright Society is another way of ensuring that you have somewhere on a global database ensure that your song is properly registered in your name. So what does like copyright also do? The copyright also gives you a legal ownership on your works. What does that mean? By giving you legal ownership on your work, if there is a copyright infringement happening, or if anybody is wrongly utilizing your content without remunerating you or without paying you, then you can take that person to the court. So copyright gives you the legal ownership on your piece of work. Third is copyright ensures that every time your music or your piece of work is commercially exploited, you are entitled to receive royalties. So copyright is nothing but a mechanism to ensure that your rights are protected and you're rightly remunerated for the commercial exploitation of your works. Once Bapi Lahiri had said very interestingly that actually copyright is right to copy. And he was very right, because see, if your music is not copied, if your music is not utilized, how will you earn? You're making the music so that people utilize it, people use it. You want them to use it, but they should use it in a legal manner and properly paying you and taking your permission wherever required. So copyright is just not a word. Actually, copyright in music is a bundle of rights, and how the copyright gets exploited every time it is being consumed. For example, the first thing that happens after, so your work as an artist or a creator starts from writing the lyrics or doing the composition. So that is the start or the beginning of any creation in a musical work. But that is only a written thing. It's a melody which you have composed, or it's the lyrics that you have written. It cannot reach out to the final consumer until and unless it has been given a shape and form. So what is giving a shape and form to the lyrics and composition is now recording it. So you kind of bring in the music producers, you invite the musicians, you invite a singer. If you are not a singer, there is a singer who will come. You go to a studio, you record the song, and then you kind of release it. So the first right that is exploited the moment you are writing a lyrics and the composition is the right to record. Today, just a logical thing is that can anyone just come and record your song? Can anyone come and record your composition or lyrics without your permission? They cannot. That is where your first right comes into play, right to record. And when you record, you also re-record, and like recording and re-recording. The first right that comes into play is the right to record. The second is that once you have recorded, you have just made one version or one copy of the song. But the song, to reach out to everyone, you have to make multiple copies. Earlier, it used to be multiple CDs, multiple cassettes. So what is happening? Reproduction. So one piece of music, one piece of content is now being copied and kind of multiple times it is getting reproduced. So this is the second right that is exploited, that is right to reproduce. Today, your song is getting copied on multiple streaming platforms. It is being copied on radio. It is being copied and played on television. It is being copied on several other mediums like Alexa and everywhere. It needs to be copied. And this reproduction also there's like one more terminology for reproduction of the content, that is mechanical. You must have heard about mechanical royalties. So mechanical royalties are generated when your song is getting reproduced. Earlier, it was very simple to understand because you are copying on a medium, that is something mechanical exploitation is happening. Today, it is not visible, but still the concept is continuing. So every time your song is reproduced, it is garnering mechanical royalties that come to you as a creator. Now, once you have reproduced, you need to now send it out to multiple places. And today, everyone is familiar with this term distribution. We reach out to a distributor. There are multiple distributors available in the industry. So the next thing which comes into play is the distribution of your song. Now tell me, when you are making a song, suppose if you are only the author, that means if you're only the lyricist, if you are only the composer, but you are not holding holding the rights of the song. You have just come and collaborated with other artists, and you have just written the lyrics. Can you go and distribute the song, or can you go and hand over the song to kind of a tune say a CD baby or a distrocrit? Can you do that? Yes or no? Just let me understand.
I think yes.
No.
I mean, he holds the, he's a composer, right? So he's the one composing the melody. But yeah, the rights will be distributed between the lyricist and the composer, obviously, because
the rights will be distributed, but I'm saying suppose say like three of you have made the song. There are two composers, one lyricist. You have been a party who has come and just contributed to the lyrics. And the song will be now released through some other person's channel or through some other person. As a lyricist, can you pick up the song and go to DistroKid and distribute it? Today, all of you go to a distributor, right? You hand over your songs to a distributor, to Orchard or to CD Baby or to DistroKid. Or
I think no.
Yes.
Not the lyricist.
Yes. So even if you're a composer, if you are just working on a hire, you have come, you are just a party to the song. You are not taking the onus of kind of investing in the song. You have not paid for the studio. You have not paid for the sound recording. You have not done anything. You have just come and you have just written the lyrics and you have just shared the lyrics, and there you're together creating, but there is no monetary investment from your end. Then you are not the owner. You are not the owner of the song. If you are not the owner of the song, you cannot go and distribute it. You are just a creator. You will be entitled to royalties as a creator, but you are not the distributor. So here you see it is so clear, because if only so, I think Soumya was saying, right, that I'm also the publisher. I'm kind of publishing the song on my own channel. If you are the publisher or you're the owner publisher, you're the owner of the song, only then you can go and distribute. So here you see, here the ownership right is copyrighted in the name of the publisher. Here, even if you are a party to it, you are not allowed because you are not holding that right. So copyright is protecting your right as a publisher. So distribution is the next right that is exploited. So even if I was part of the song production team or the producer, suppose now today you have a producer, to make it more simple. Suppose today you have a producer who has been all throughout giving the song the final shape. But can the producer go and hand over the song or release the song in his name? Can he send it to the distributor in his name? He cannot. So this is where your right to distribution comes into play, and only the original owner, who's the owner of the song, has a right to distribute the song and collect the royalties as the owner, as a publisher. Now you have distributed the song, but how do you popularize it? How do you make people know that the song has been released and the song is made? The best way to market your song is to perform in public. It can be through radio. A lot of artists today reach out to radio stations to play their music. You do live gigs in pubs and places so that your song reaches out to many people. They start hearing your song and they like your song. Then they go and download and listen multiple times on other streaming platforms. So the next right that is exploited is the public performance, right to publicly perform. Today, a lot of artists, they have this question. Suppose I am doing a cover version. I am doing a live performance, but I am doing somebody else's song I am performing. Do I need to take a permission? Do I need to take a license? What do you think? Will he need to take a license and a permission to perform somebody else's song? Or they can just go and perform, take money from the venue and perform the song? Can you just go and perform somebody else's song without taking a like permission? Actually, you cannot. But here, one thing is very important for you to understand as independent artists and creators, that you don't need to take a permission or a license. It is a responsibility of the venue or the organizer to take the license on your behalf. As an artist, you will have to just inform the organizer or the venue that these are the songs that you will be performing. And now it is a responsibility of the organizer or the venue to submit the details of the songs and take a license from IPRS for the public performance. But as you are performing somebody else's song, so the license that the organizer is taking, that money goes back to the original creator. So today, as a creator, as an author or a composer, you have made, say hundreds of songs. Now let people perform wherever they want to, because anywhere anyone is performing, the money will come back to you as the original creator. So the next right as an original creator, which is exploited and is also protected because of the copyright thing, is the right to publicly perform. So this is another right which is under the bundle of rights which come under copyright. The next right is the right to adapt. Today we see a lot of remakes, remixes, translation of the songs happening. But you cannot just go and do a remake of a song without taking permission and paying the original right owner. You have to pay the right owner, or you have to take a permission from the right owner. And then only you can go and do a remake or a cover version or a translation of the original work. The next one is very important, is the synchronization right. You must have heard about this word synchronization. Synchronization is nothing but, suppose you have made a song. Now, somebody else, say a film producer or like OTT channel, say Netflix. Netflix is releasing a new show and they want to use your song in their series. So they will come to you, they will do an individual deal with you. This is not a mass deal like the other ones. This is an individual deal, song basis. They will come to you, they will pay you upfront, and they will take a license, which is called the sync deal, sync license, for using your song in their audiovisual content. Similarly, synchronization deal also happen for use of your music in an ad film. It can be for a movie, it can be for anything. So these are individual deals, and there is no flat rate for these for these deals. It depends on how popular you are and how popular your music is. And if you can crack a big deal, these are life-changing deals that happen, synchronization. So these are all the rights that come under copyright, and this bundle of rights together form the copyright in music. This slide is very important, and it's very important today for any creator to understand the difference between the two. Because for you, you are making a song. You are seeing the song as a final product. Yes, it is a final product, but the song which is released is the sound recording or the master. But a very interesting aspect of the music business is that whenever the master is playing, whenever the sound recording is playing, what is also playing is the lyrics and the composition. So there are two different aspects of the music business. One is the sound recording, which is the master, and the other is the lyrics and the composition. So as an independent artist today who is releasing his song, his or her song on their own channel, and is not tying up with any label or any third party, is actually the owner of both the components and will garner revenue for the exploitation of both. So the independent artist today is the owner of the sound recording, which is the master, which you are handing over to your distributor. You are also the owner of the lyrics and the composition, which is known as the underlying works. So what happens is that the sound recording business is the label business. So as an independent artist, you are the label and you are also the publisher. So you will be earning twice from the music that you have made. You will be earning as a label, you will be earning as a publisher. And these are two distinct pillars of the music business. One is the sound recording side of the music business, and the other is the publishing side of the music business. The sound recording side of the music business has been prevalent in our country for decades because India was primarily a film music dominated industry, and the songs were made for movies. So the song originated from the, like, for a particular purpose. It was made for the movie. So whenever a movie was being made, the film producer used to invite the lyricist and the composer. He used to narrate them the story, the situation, the actors, who will be the actor. And basis that brief, the lyricist and the composer used to write and create the music, write the song, create the music. Then the producer used to see that, okay, suppose for example, Bobby, it's a musical. So many, like 7, 8 songs have been made for the movie. So then the producer, say Raj Kapoor Sahab, he reached out to the music labels and he kind of proposed them that who wants to buy the music rights. So Saregama, they bought the music right, or like at that time it was HMV. They bought the music rights for the movie Bobby. So they now invested in producing, in making, in sound recording, marketing, everything. So from day one, the rights of the lyrics and the composition was held by the label. So there was nothing existing beyond the label. So publishing as a vertical, publishing as a separate entity never existed in India because the author composer was attached to the label. The label used to pay them and the label used to market and monetize it. The situation started changing when the private radio stations, TV channels, telecom, they started using music. So now the consumption of music went beyond the movies. So the author composers, they started realizing that, okay, we were happy in 70s, 80s, 60s, because there was no business of music beyond the movies and we did the work for the movies. But now it is not just the movies. The movies, Bobby happened in the 70s. So movie too has gone into archive long back. But now these individual entities, these business entities of FM radio station or a TV channel, music channels on TV, on television, telecom operators, they are utilizing this music and running their own businesses. Big businesses are running around this film music. But then why author composers will not get a share of the earnings? That is when then the digital platforms came. Then the exploitation and utilization of the music became manifolds. So then Javed Akhtar Sahab and his contemporary creators, they then started like discussing with the government that there has to be some change in the copyright law of our country so that it's very encouraging to see such widespread use of music now, but the benefit should also come back to the creators. That is when, and at that time, Javed sir was also member of the Rajya Sabha. And in 2012, the historic amendment of the Copyright Act happened in India, which kind of defined the rights of author composers and it made it mandatory that whenever music is being exploited commercially, royalties have to be paid to the author composer. And that is when the role of IPRS became very prominent and important, because though IPRS was established in 1969, because the rights of author composers were not defined, so IPRS was finding it very difficult to collect royalties on behalf of the author composers. But 2012, post that, IPRS got its right purpose and mission, because now the rights of author composers have been established by the law, and IPRS was entitled to collect the royalties on behalf of the lyrics, or like of the lyricist and the composer. So now what happens? Now, whenever the music is played, license happens, and the commercial establishment has to pay for the sound recording. This money goes to the label. This money comes to you from your distributor. So the money that your distributor pays you for the song being played on different streaming platforms and DSPs is the royalty that is getting generated for the sound recording. But whenever the sound recording is playing, additional royalties are generated for the lyrics and the composition, the underlying works, which Spotify or other streaming platforms, they directly pay to IPRS to be paid back to its members, basis the consumption. So this is a completely separate side of the music business, which is the publishing, like music publishing business. Now you must be like hearing a lot of this terminology, music publishing. This is nothing but the exploitation of the lyrics and the composition separately. And the owners of the publishing rights are the author, composer, and the publisher. So as an independent artist, you are a label and you are also a publisher, and you hold the rights of the lyrics and the composition. So as I said, what you give to your distributor is the sound recording. Your distributor doesn't hold the right of your lyrics and the composition. They are not the owner of the lyrics and the composition. Be very careful. Sign a proper contract with your distributor and see what is there in the clause. Your distributor is not the owner of the lyrics and the composition. Their role is just to distribute the song and make it available in as many platforms possible. Lyrics and the composition, the owner of the lyrics and the composition is either you as a creator, or you can appoint as publisher, or as a copyright society, IPRS licenses your song to the other mass consumption. For example, where IPRS comes into play. For example, today when you are creating music, the music is playing on multiple streaming platforms. The music is playing on radio. The music tomorrow, if it is popular, will play on like television channels. The music will play in public like places. So as a creator, it is not possible for you to keep a track of everywhere your music is playing. Your music is also playing outside India, in territories outside India. So how will you keep a track where all your music is playing? That is where the role of a copyright society comes into play. That is where IPRS's role comes into play, because it is licensing. IPRS is also not owning the rights of your lyrics and the composition. You have only assigned the rights to IPRS to license your song for all this consumption on different platforms and collect the royalty on your behalf. So IPRS is helping to license your lyrics and the composition. IPRS does not license the sound recording. The sound recording thing is distributed by your distributor, and the lyrics and the composition royalty is collected by IPRS. So the thing now, these two words you need to understand: collective and individual management of rights. So as I explained, IPRS is collecting from multiple sources and is representing its entire group of members. Suppose today if IPRS is representing 15,000 members, IPRS will not go and individually license. Today, if IPRS is signing a licensing deal with YouTube or Spotify, or say Wink, it will not go and individually license for you. It will say, okay, I am representing 15,000 members. I am also representing 4 million or 5 million songs. So when I'm signing a licensing deal with a Wink or any platform or any consumer, I am licensing the entire repertoire on behalf of my pool of members. Because it is done together, this kind of rights management is called collective management of rights, where we are collectively managing the rights for all our members and all their works. So if somebody is taking a license from IPRS, then that commercial establishment now has access to the millions of works that IPRS is representing and can use any song from that, like from IPRS repertoire. Where does individual management comes? Individual management comes in case of sync deals. So when a sync licensing happens, IPRS doesn't do a sync license because IPRS doesn't do individual management of copyright. Sync deal will happen directly between you as a creator and the person who wants to use your music, or you can appoint a publisher who you have assigned the right to go and create this business opportunities for you. So a publisher can do the deal on your behalf, or you can, as an individual creator, can do the deal. So sync licensing is hence known as individual management of copyright. So there are two ways in which copyright is managed: collective management and individual management. So then what is the role of IPRS as a copyright society? It is a representative body, which I have been saying, of author, composers, and publishers. So if you are an author, composer, publisher, a band who is owning or creating the original content, we are a representative body of all of you who are creating content, musical content. Our primary role lies in safeguarding your rights and collecting royalties on your behalf. And another very important role that IPRS plays is that helping music users to legally play music. Today, I'm not saying that people don't want to comply or they don't want to take a license. But how do I take? Where do I take from? If I take a license, what all songs I can use? So it is quite confusing. As a user, will I reach out to multiple creators to take a license? Not possible. So bodies like IPRS helps to music users to legally play music by forming a one window licensing authority. So one way IPRS is helping you to collect helping you to to monitor your consumption of your music. Once we have found out, okay, your music is being used by this particular body or this establishment or this platform, we will go and negotiate on your behalf so that we can give you the best rates for your music. Then we will license it and then collect your royalties and pay it back to you. So the major role of a CMO like IPRS is monitoring, negotiating, licensing, and collecting royalties on your behalf. So what kind of royalties does IPRS collect, and what are the rights that IPRS manage? So these two terms are very, you might, like whenever you read something online or you have been watching videos online, you must have heard of these terms: performing rights or performing royalties, and mechanical rights and mechanical royalties. Performing royalties get generated when your music is played in public. So played in public, one is that you're doing live gigs or it is playing in establishment, malls, everywhere. When it is going from one to many, that is public performance. Even when it is playing through radio, it is going to one to many. Television, even for a Spotify, suppose, okay, I am listening to the music on my earpods, but still it is going to many, it is there for public. So all, everywhere where music is playing for public consumption, performing royalties are generated because your performing rights are exploited. Next is mechanical. So earlier it used to be very simple when CDs and cassettes were made. So for every copy sale of the CD and cassette, mechanical royalties used to get generated and paid back to the right holders or the creators. Today, there are no physical copies of your songs being made, but every time it is being played, it is copied on some medium. For radio, it is being copied on their server or their whatever the device they have. For television also, they have the broadcasting mechanism. It is copied there. For streaming also, it is getting copied on the cloud. It is copied on the mobile. So every time the performing royalties are generated, the mechanical royalties are like get generated too. Because for the performance to happen, it has to be copied on some medium. Barring only one place where only performing royalties are generated, no mechanical royalties get made. Can you say where? Only one area of music consumption where only performing royalties are generated, mechanical royalties are not generated. Any guesses? Anyone, any guesses? One area of music consumption where only performing royalties get generated, no mechanical royalties are made. Anyone? When you are doing a live gig, just singing to the audience, the song, you're not copying the song. It is not a recorded music that is played. It is not being copied anywhere. So during live gigs, only performing royalties are generated. And this is a very common question. If I am doing only a live gig, I'm singing from the stage, do I need to take an IPRS license, or if I have taken, or do I need to take a PPL, Novex, RMPL license too? Or is it enough only to take a PPL license and not an IPRS license if I'm doing a live gig? Whatever form of performance you do, IPRS license is a must, because IPRS license is for the exploitation of the lyrics and the composition. So there can be no music played or no music performed without the lyrics and the composition being played or performed. Hence, IPRS license is a must for any kind of consumption. But when you are performing a live gig, you're not playing any recorded music, you don't need to take a PPL, RMPL, or a Novix license. An IPRS license will only suffice. So who can join IPRS? The entire enrollment process for IPRS is online. Author, composers, independent artists, music bands, publishers. If you are creating original content, or if you're the owner of the original musical work, then you can join IPRS. There was a question that I am releasing the song in the name of my band. So how do I register? So if you are a band and the song is being released in the name of the band, then you have to join as an individual creator. Like as many people are there part of the band, if it is two-member band, 3-member band, 4-member band, all of them have to individually register with IPRS as author composers, whatever their role is. And in the application form, there is an option to also put the name of the band. You have to put the name of the band also. And whenever you are joining IPRS, an IPI number will be generated. So that will link your name as an author composer with the band name. So if you are having a band, releasing the song through a band, then you join as an individual, but mention the name of the band in your application form. Next is you need to have at least one published song that will validate your role as the author, composer, or publisher. Then just few basic information are needed to complete your application: your name, whatever your role, your author, composer, whatever you are, date of birth, PAN, address, mobile, email, valid, your bank details, and a valid song link. And there is a one-time processing fee of 1,200 rupees for author composers and 2,200 for publisher. There are no other hidden charges. You don't need to renew your membership every year. This is a lifetime membership. And the 1,200 rupees is not a membership fee. It is a one-time processing fee. So anyone telling you that you need to pay more or it is a recurring expense, no. It's a one-time joining fee. And I was hearing a question last day in one of my workshops that every time I register my songs, do I need to pay for it? No, it is not a distributor. It is not a business organized business entity. It's a not-for-profit government authorized copyright society. Here we are enrolling you to represent you in India and abroad. And every time you release a song or whatever song you have made in the past, also as a member, you have to register your songs. There are no additional charges for registration of your songs. If you are an independent artist, you join as an author composer, and separately you join as a publisher because that is your legal entity. It may be the name of your channel, it can be name of your band, but it is a legal entity. It is not an individual entity. So I think there was a question that does it need to be in my name or it has to be something along with my name? If you can add something along with your name, then it will help to distinguish between the two entities. One, your entity as a author composer, the other as an entity as a publisher. So tomorrow you might collaborate with some other people also. So whatever you're releasing through that legal entity. So what are the benefits of joining a copyright society? See, the first and the foremost, I think there was a question that do I need to join IPRS when I have started my career and I'm just working on my first song and releasing my first song? If you have decided that you want to make a career in music and it's a long-term plan that you have and you're serious about your career as a creator, joining a society is not a choice anymore, because the day you join a society, you get an IPI number. So how does it help? So today there can be multiple people with the same name. So in a world where everything is on the cloud, everything is through metadata, there is no physical evidence of your work and song. How do you ensure that the song, the rights and the royalties will not get mapped to the other person with the same name? Or if there is a mistake in the spelling, there are high chances that your song may get mapped to somebody else or your revenues may get mapped to somebody else. So what kind of protects you from that, from that is your IPI number. It is the Aadhaar number of, it's like the Aadhaar card number of a creator. The way we have an Aadhaar number that identifies us as individuals, distinct individuals, there may be 10 people with the same name, but 10 people will not be with the same name and the same Aadhaar number. Similarly, the IPI number is your Aadhaar number as a creator. And it is a unique identification number for you as a creator globally. In the entire globe, there will be only one person with that one IPI number. So today, if you're collaborating with somebody abroad, you will be immediately tracked and discovered through your name and IPI number. Hence, it is very important to be part of a society and get your IPI number. So next time when you're releasing your song, don't forget to mention the IPI number in the metadata sheet. Second is credit. And like as I mentioned earlier, that today your data that you are uploading is being represented in multiple formats across streaming platforms and other areas. Where is that one place where your entire data is intact and is in the format that you want to put? You may be working with multiple creators. So whose role is what? Whose share is how much? All of these are captured in the metadata that you submit to a copyright society. So tomorrow, if there is any confusion, any conflict with your credit and your authorship, immediately you can call out the data from the IPRS database and kind of clarify your role and right on the song. There are many instances happening today, and we are seeing it on a daily basis in IPRS, where somebody had made a song out of friendship and okay, they had made the song some time back. But now when the song has gone popular, this person is not getting any royalty because they have not registered the song in their name or their name is missing in the credit. Nobody will remember you that, okay, Acha, you had made the song. Your money, your credit is linked to the credit and the metadata that is submitted and produced. So it is very important that you register your songs with proper credits and complete metadata with your society, so to avoid any confusion and conflict in future. So this is another big advantage of joining a copyright society. And third, though, is obviously when these two are in place and your song is popular, royalties will be made. Because today, the royalty that you're getting from your distributor or from the YouTube channel, that is just one part of the royalty. The performing royalties will come to you through a copyright society, because as per the law, the publishing royalties are directly paid to a copyright society by the streaming platforms, by the radio, by TV. So today, if Sony TV is paying us, if Zee TV is paying us, they will pay the publishing royalties directly to IPRS. They will not pay it to your label or to your distributor. So I have already explained this. So when you join IPRS as a creator or publisher, you register your songs. IPRS licenses your songs to multiple users, collect the license fee, and pays it back to you as royalties. Similarly, it is very useful for the user also. They do not need to go to multiple creators. They can license the entire repertoire through IPRS and can use the song legally without any hassle. So IPRS is an efficient bridge and a channel between the creator and the user. So the next thing is that how the royalty in a copyright society gets distributed. Usually it is a quarterly payment, but now IPRS is like distributing it more frequently. Last year till 2024 March, in the last fiscal, from April 23 to March 24, we have distributed over 500 crores as royalties to our members. In the last 3 years, we have distributed 1,000 crores of royalties to our members. But all this can only happen when your songs are properly registered and your metadata is in place. So also IPRS has reciprocal agreements with foreign societies. So a lot of people ask this question. Today, if my music is playing in UK, US, any other country, how do I collect my royalties? So IPRS has reciprocal agreements with the copyright societies of those countries. So suppose if your music is playing in US, so ASCAP and BMI will collect those royalties on your behalf, pay it to IPRS for IPRS to pay back to you as its member. So how the royalty is split? So usually the split is 50% of the royalty goes to the publisher, 25 to the author, and 25 to the composer. Now, if you have multiple authors and multiple composers, if you have not specified otherwise, then that 25% will get equally split between all the authors and all the composers. You can also specify the split in your metadata. So the 50% will remain intact, 25 will remain intact, and the other 25 will remain intact. But you can mention that if there are 3 composers, one might get 5%, one might get 8%, and the other might get the remaining. So you can also specify the split of royalty amongst you as a creator. When there is a remake of a song happening, it is very interesting. In a remake, the original author, he or she will get half of the royalty. So if the author share is 25%, in a remake, 12.5 will go to the original author and 12.5 will go to the new author. Similarly, 12.5 will go to the original composer and 12.5 will go to the new composer. And in case of traditional work, usually there is no publishing royalties made, but if you are recomposing a traditional work, then it will again get split half. Half will go to the public for the traditional work, and the remaining half will come to you as a new creator. One very important statement, whenever you're signing any contract, I hear a lot of independent artists saying that like radio stations are telling them to sign an NOC that you will not claim any royalty, you will not join IPRS. Those are illegal and holds no value in the court of law, because author's share of royalty is inalienable. Even if you sign a document saying that, okay, I'm writing off my right to royalty, that has no value in the court, because if IPRS is collecting royalty from the radio station, the money will go to you. Nobody can stop you from getting your royalty, even if you have signed an agreement saying that I am giving away my royalty rights. It is inalienable, because Javed sir was very particular and very sure that in India, author composers are vulnerable. They can come under pressure and they might have to sign off their royalty rights. So this amendment has been done in the copyright law itself, that you cannot write off your royalty rights. It will go directly to your bank account. Sometimes you might have this question that somebody has told me that I am your authorized representative. I will represent you in IPRS. I will collect royalties from IPRS on behalf of you. Those are incorrect, not correct. Because if you are a member of IPRS, your royalty will directly go to your bank account. There are no via ways of your royalties. It will not go through a third party. It will like directly go to your bank account. This is one very important thing today. You need to focus on your metadata whenever you're filling. So when you're in the studio, before the song is released, please be very careful in the way you're filling your metadata, all the credits, all the name, song name, title, language, as much information you can give. Because as I'm telling multiple times, there is no physical evidence of your song. So whatever you owe is represented by your metadata. So if there is any lapse, any kind of lack in the metadata, you will end up losing your right and royalties. So be very careful, spend some time on the data that you are, don't leave it on somebody else. Please see what is going out from the studio as a metadata, whether your role, your name is properly mentioned or not. And one more thing, which was the question was there, that does a musician or a producer or a singer get royalties? IPRS doesn't pay singers. There is a separate society, ISAMRA, for musicians and singers. So you will have to register separately with ISAMRA to collect your royalties as a singer and a musician. Producer, suppose say now you know how much contribution was there from the producer's end. So if you feel that the producer also played a big role in creating or in the composition of the song, you can mention his or her name as a co-composer. But it is completely between you and the other people who are collaborating you on the music. This is, you have to be fair, because see, it's not a short-term career or short-term thing that you're doing, it's a long-term thing. So you have to understand the fair business practices and accordingly. So anyone you want to be credited or you want them to earn royalty, you can mention them as a co-composer or a co-lyricist. However, you can mention the split. If you don't want to give him half, you can mention there, if 25% is my composer share, he has contributed something, so maybe he can get 5%. I will retain 20%, but it is up to you how you want to do it. So these are our helpline numbers. Any query you have, you can write to membership@iprs.org. This is our helpline number. You can write down, and please follow us on our social media channels. We keep on uploading information. We do a lot of activities, events, workshops. Next month, we are doing a music conference in Delhi. Whoever is from Delhi, you are all invited to come down. 31st August, there is a seminar happening in Delhi at Dr. Ambedkar International Center. We are inviting foreign delegates, industry stakeholders, creators, entrepreneurs, investments, like venture capitalists, everyone, ministry people, policy makers, state tourism. So we want to create opportunities for musicians and creators in India and take the music business in India from IPRS's perspective to the next level. Visit our website, www.iprs.org. You can join IPRS online. The link to join IPRS, the entire process is online on our website. So now I'm open to questions. Any question you have, you can just ask me.
Hi, Rumpa. I got my question answered. Thank you.
So now you tell everyone, is it important? And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool.
I think, yes, as a serious musician or composer, yes, and especially for an independent artist. I had a new question. So, let's say, for example, I am an independent artist. I am composing a song, but I would like someone else to sing the song for me.
Yeah.
So does she or he get any kind of um, royalty or anything?
Anyone wants to take this answer? This question? Anyone wants to take this question?
I think not from IPRS, but from the other website, like the
Yeah,
name
Samra.
Samra.
You
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yes. So see,
Okay.
one very important thing, because we are discussing this. So when anybody in any role, if they are working with you, they might not get royalty from IPRS, but the credit section, which is there, no, try to put their name. Even if he has played the guitar, if he has been the producer, whatever role he has been, put the details in the credit, because no one knows. Tomorrow there might be another society formed which will be paying these people. But suppose now today there is no society for music producers, but it can happen soon in the future that there will be a society coming up, or even IPRS's gambit might increase and they might start paying the producer. But if the name was missing in the credit, then there is no scope that that person will get. So whether they're getting or not, please mention the names in the credit. And today for musicians and for singers, the Samra is the body who is collecting and paying the royalties.
Even on behalf of Bollywood?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all the Bollywood singers today, Asha ji, Sonu Nigam ji, everyone is part of Isamra.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, since you are an expert in music licensing and all, what is your take on sync licensing platforms, a sort of marketplace to license these songs to be used in ad films, movies, or OTTs? What is
Yeah. See, these are all marketplaces created for budding artists, because anyone who is very established, they will prefer to go through their publishers or do the individual deals. But when you're starting your career, it might not be a bad option, but be very clear with the contract that you are signing when you are putting up your song on those platforms. There are a lot of platforms today which is also putting out copyright free music. So be very careful on what are the terms and conditions of that platform, and what is that you're getting, how much, what is the success rate, what are the kind of opportunities that platform will open for you. Once you have uploaded your music, who is your point of contact? Are you getting individual kind of services from them? Are they updating you on a regular basis of like, what is happening to your music? So it should not be that you have put out your music on the platform and then you have no clue what is happening with your music. And one fine morning, you see your music playing in a Hollywood movie. So today, when there is marketplaces available, you have to be very careful when you're going out to sell your product anywhere or put up your product on display. And try to find out. I know sometimes taking legal advice is expensive, but try to find out people whom you can approach, and always take a legal advice before signing any contract. It might be a bit expensive, but it will benefit you in the long run. And there are people in the industry who might also give you the service as a budding creator at a cheaper rate. But please consult a legal advisor before signing any contract.
All right. Thank you.
I have
Yeah.
one more question.
Yeah.
Suppose a song is made by a group of artists, male and female vocalists, and there are guitarists and drummers. We put credit in every metadata, and we release the song by the DistroKid.
Yeah.
But the royalty will only get those artists like who uploaded that song. Even
No.
the song gets million. Okay, how?
Suppose if you have uploaded the song through DistroKid and you have mentioned the name of the author and the composer. So what is the job of DistroKid? DistroKid will distribute the song to the streaming platforms. So when the song is playing on Spotify and the publishing royalty is generated, Spotify will pay that money to IPRS. Now, you have to encourage your fellow creators to also join IPRS. So when the royalty has been generated on that particular song, IPRS will then pay the royalty to the author, to the composer, and the publisher. So it does not mean that if you have submitted the song to DistroKid, the royalty will only go to you. It will go to you as a publisher. If you are the composer, you will get your composer share of royalty. But if the lyricist's name is mentioned and the lyricist is member of IPRS, then the lyricist will also get the royalty directly from IPRS. So you are doing a big service to the music industry as a publisher by registering the songs with IPRS. And if the lyricist is not our member, then that royalty gets accumulated in the unpaid royalty pool. And we will then find out that person and make him a member and pay that royalty to him. So it's very important for you as a publisher to get the song distributed, put the metadata properly, and register that song with IPRS. So all the interested parties in the song gets their royalties, their share of royalties. Could I answer your question?
हेलो मैम, आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन. आई एम दीपांशु भाटी.
या
सो मैम, मैंने बताया जैसे मैंने मेल करा था आईपीआरएस को कि मुझे अपने गाने की रॉयल्टी एस्टिमेट जानना है, मुझे लास्ट रॉयल्टी पेड नहीं हुई थी. सो वहाँ से जो मेल बैक आया कि हमारा गाना जो एज अ वर्क एज वेब एसेट्स में है,
हाँ.
तो उसको एज अ साउंड एसेट में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
सो मुझे थोड़ा सर्च करने के बाद पता नहीं चला उसको कैसे करता है और क्या है. सो उसके बारे में आप थोड़ा प्लीज बता पाओगे?
So what happens, you have to, there is a proper CMS. In YouTube, you have to upload your song through a proper CMS and then audio asset. So when you are uploading, so when you are seeing, now there are multiple videos on YouTube. It can be a cooking video, it can be a travel video. So when you are uploading as a web asset, that means you are just uploading it as an entertainment asset. It is part of all the other videos that are playing on YouTube. It can be any kind of video. So in those kind of situation, IPRS cannot claim your share of royalty, or it cannot claim the author composer's share of royalty. So you have to reach out to your distributor and take help from your distributor and tell them that I want to upload the song as a audio asset. So your distributor will give you a proper CMS and will help to upload the song. Because what is the benefit of a CMS? It is a content management system that is available on YouTube channel. Today, you have uploaded the song on your channel as an entertainment or a web asset. But if it is not uploaded with a proper CMS, when a user-generated content is made on YouTube channel, the fingerprinting or the algorithm will not be able to track those user-generated content and bring back the royalty to you. So the way you make reels and all on Insta, similarly on YouTube, you also see other people using your song and making content, right? But if you want to get the royalty for those other content where your song has been used, then you have to have a proper CMS. If your song is uploaded through a proper CMS, then wherever, in any channel, wherever your music is being utilized, YouTube will track those consumption, those utilization, and bring back the royalty to you as the original owner of the song. So that is the benefit. So you reach out to your distributor, take help from them. They will help you to upload the song as a sound asset if you are not being able to do it. You can also reach out to the YouTube team, or you can go through the videos in the YouTube section and see how to upload your content as a audio asset.
एंड मैम जो अब तक व्यूज आए हैं वो फिर अनपेड रहेंगे, मतलब उससे कन्वर्ट करने से पहले?
नहीं, वो तो आपको डायरेक्टली तो मिल गया है ना, यूट्यूब IPRS की तरफ से नहीं मिलेगा, because those have already come to you from YouTube. Now onwards, after you have uploaded it as a audio asset, then
उसके बाद व्यूज आएंगे, उसकी रॉयल्टीज हम क्लेम करवाएंगे, IPRS क्लेम करेगा.
हाँ, उसके बाद IPRS will start claiming your songs. But once you have done it, please inform IPRS so that IPRS can start claiming on your behalf.
ओके मैम मैम वो कुछ और क्वेश्चंस थे मेरे, जैसे इफ समवन ब्रेक अवर कॉपीराइट लॉ, जो जैसे आपने जो कॉपीराइट्स बताए हमें, अगर उनको कोई एक्सप्लॉइट करता है, हमारा गाना किसी ने रीमेक करके डाल दिया यूट्यूब पे, तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं उसके लिए फिर?
देखो, अगर आपका वो CMS के थ्रू है, अगर किसी ने उसको यूज किया तो यूट्यूब विल ट्रैक इट थ्रू देयर एल्गोरिथम एंड फिंगरप्रिंटिंग. और एज एन ओरिजिनल राइट होल्डर यू कैन डायरेक्टली गो एंड स्ट्राइक अ क्लेम ऑन दैट सॉन्ग. आज अगर आप कोई भी लेबल, बड़े लेबल जो है, उनके गाने अगर आप यूज करोगे, रीमेक करोगे, तो क्या होता है, इमीडिएटली देयर इज अ कॉपीराइट क्लेम ऑन योर सॉन्ग. So as an original owner, you can go and immediately strike a claim, copyright claim on the song. And YouTube will tell that person, this is not your original creation. So you have to either take it down or you have to take the required permission from the original right holder.
ओके मैम. एंड मैम सो जो अभी मैंने देखा था कि आईपीआरएस ने डील हुई थी मेटा के साथ, तो आईपीआरएस के थ्रू डील हुई थी, मतलब कुछ क्रिएटर्स को डील मिली थी, तो वो कैसे और क्रिएटर्स को मिल सकती है? मैंने उनके टैग्स में गया था तो वहाँ पे और डील भी मिली थी, और क्रिएटर्स थे जिन्होंने टैग कर रखा था आईपीआरएस को भी, तो वो कैसे डील मिलेगी आईपीआरएस के थ्रू और क्रिएटर्स को?
Sorry, I think we lost Rumpa. She'll join into 1 minute. दीपांशु जी, हाय, मंदार हियर फ्रॉम IPRS. कुछ क्वेश्चन था आपका?
हाँ जी सर.
हाँ बोलिए ना वापस.
तो सर मैंने ये देखा था कि अभी आईपीआरएस और मेटा के कोलैब के साथ कुछ डील आई थी, कुछ क्रिएटर्स ने उनको कोलैब करके वीडियोस और सॉन्ग्स डाले थे, तो वो डील मिली थी और जो कोलैब हुआ था वो कैसे हुआ था, और वो अदर क्रिएटर को कैसे मिल पाएगा?
सो IPRS और मेटा ने एक साथ में एक क्रिएटिव वर्कशॉप किया था, जिसमें बेसिकली मेटा हैड अ डील that IPRS will select some of the artists and they will perform at the music day जो offer हुआ था उसमें से. So we selected some 20 artists there, and उसमें से 2 लोग became like really viral in the country. So these guys got selected to perform at the Meta event later. So IPRS keeps doing these kind of collaborations now because we want our members to grow, we want our musicians to grow, independent musicians to like we want to support more independent musicians so that everyone reaches to their goals.
So हम उसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकते, वो IPRS सेलेक्ट करता है.
So आपको that's the reason कि मैं chats में push कर रहा हूँ कि आप please touch में रहिए. We keep doing these kind of things always. So this is one of the initiatives, and obviously later we would be doing this often.
Okay, sir.
Hi Mandar.
Hi.
I have a question. Hi. So
Sorry,
basically, if
your name?
You can call me Major.
Major. Oh yeah.
I artistic. Yeah.
Good.
So like if any artist is registered with the IPRS by label and the artist does not know, and if he wanted to join the IPRS after 1 or 2, 3 years after, and he get this news from the IPRS, he is already registered. So what we can do in that case?
Are you already registered with IPRS?
I have a doubt, like one of my artists is already registered because he worked with various labels and few have done like wrong practices in business.
So see, that is the major thing. See, that's the main thing why we are doing these awareness campaigns. IPRS never registers anyone without their consent. When you have a released song, you have to be applying on your own, and then only you will be able to get that IPI number. We don't register anyone. There are multiple societies in the world who do that kind of a practice, but IPRS doesn't. Another thing is, if your artist is registered with some other project, maybe with some other publisher, if that artist has worked before, then it might come to us. So they might flag us, and then we will contact the artist for the membership. Nothing else other than this is a practice with IPRS. If you are a label, obviously label and publisher are kind of same in India right now. Like
Right.
in last 2-3 years now, there is a differentiation started happening, and you can definitely register yourself as a label, and then later when both the IPS can connect for that particular song or a particular song work.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, Manoj.
I was asking one question that
Hello.
अगर जो मैं अपने
Hello.
सॉन्ग्स में एड रन कराता हूँ तो
Sorry,
उसकी क्या रॉयल्टीज मिलेगी?
sorry, guys. I think we are running overboard. Rumpa and Mandar have been really kind to extend the masterclass by 30 minutes more. So, you can reach out to them via their email and ask your questions. But
Yeah.
I'd like to thank them for taking the time and, spending, giving awareness to all the independent artists. Thank you so much, Rumpa and Mandar,
Yeah,
for
thank
taking
you.
the time.
Yeah, let me introduce Mandar also. So
Yeah,
a helpline
please.
number that I shared. So Mandar is managing the membership outreach and enrollments nationally. So any query you have, Mandar will be happy to assist and guide you. And like write to us, reach out to us, no worries. We'll continue the conversation.
Yeah, so I've shared the flyer, all the contact details, and also the Instagram handle for IPRS. Please feel free to join. If you have any doubt, we have an office in Mumbai and also across India. We have major offices. You can contact us anywhere. Thank you, Rohin. Thank you, Robak team, and thank you, Drishti, for this opportunity.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a nice one. Bye bye.